Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're playing a pretty much straight up Storm Ramp Dragon based deck, so completely cut any kind of prints. We're going for a couple of Alter Plane because they should be fun. We are running Annerose, the new card. That's the one I really wanted to give a go. I didn't include the other new legendary at the moment. I've only got one of it and don't feel like the one would make a huge difference, although maybe in a more disdain focused build I could take advantage of that. But at the moment I am including 3 Hastewing as I have only got 2 Drahaka and I've only got 2 Zoe at the moment. So I felt like Hastewing actually wasn't too bad a card, considering of course anything that plays 7 cost plus you can potentially get the invocation, which in the long game could work out for you pretty easily. I mean, you got Alter Plane, Ozzy, Zoe and Poseidon all costing above 7, so works out pretty well. But we're going to get right into this and check it out. So Annerose is just included as a pretty much straight up extra ramp card. It does give you more potential to get that evolved ramp earlier, which is always a good advantage to have. Also, the fact that it's not dead in the late game does make it a good card even if you don't happen to draw it. So we want to favour ramp as much as possible, and this hand is basically pure ramp. Dragon Oracle, Dragon Sword and Dragon Cleaver Roy all give us ramp abilities, which is great. Of course, going up against a Blood is a little tricky because hand buff Blood can be a painful matchup. I had messed around with my own hand buff Blood, but I didn't have much luck, so that's why we're doing this video. Maybe when I can refine my deck down a little bit, I might bring hand buff Blood to, of course, the people, but we'll see. So I started off pretty well. I mean, we've already ramped once, we get the Roy, we've got another potential ramp to go along with whatever else we can draw. Of which we don't get much, but I mean, if I can deal with this wolf guy before he gets his Blood Moon ability, that's definitely not a bad option. And of course they get the Wonder-Wing Demon, which is going to buff their hand twice for the card they want, which will be the Lycos. See, I never get hands like this playing buff Blood myself, which is a little disappointing, but we do end up with our own Annerose, which is not the worst possible thing to get. It's another decent ramp with a bit higher stats than Dragon Sword, which is the part I like about it, even if it does cost slightly more. So it leaves us with a 4-1 and a 2-1. Easy targets for this Evil Eye Demon. But going up against Blood when we've ramped pretty well is going to be a pain. I may work Annerose into my other ramp dragon lists that obviously are more Satan focused and see how they go. Might actually be a really good way to guarantee ramping up quick enough. So the Alter Plane worked out nicely. We got both damage cards with the Razor Claw and of course the Demonic Storm. And having them reduce cost is quite decent. Even better, they are putting themselves in lethal range for us, as our Drahaka and Demon Storm should win us the game long term. And I play the 2-2 as an extra distraction and a potential just in case I either heal or go for something big, but Calamity Bringer, not really an issue, as the Demonic Storm is just going to straight up win the game. And next up, we are fighting Haven. In particular, I believe it is the new DragonCraft variants, which I did a video on not that long ago. I think it was yesterday's video that went up, from memory. I'm trying to remember which order I recorded all these in. But yeah, they're basically running something very similar to what I played. It's no real surprise. It's a pretty easy card to just slot into decks without too much extra effort. So Zoe on turn 1, best option. We've already got some good ramp for our Evo effects. If we could have got any more ramp, we would have been better off. And I do decide to basically sacrifice this as I don't feel I need it yet. And holding on to 2 of them is probably going to be too slow in the long term, but who really knows? Especially when we end up with double Annerose. Which is actually good because now it doesn't matter if I waste this Dragon Sword. Dragon Sword I typically only use if I can't get an Annerose in hand. I find that's the best way to use it. Or as an extra if I happen to have more Evo points than I really need. And of course I get Hastewing. Not that I need it. We are running 3, so Still leaves a few in the deck if we end up going into the late game against this, but turns out they're actually playing lions. I must have confused it with another match I played. I've played a decent amount of matches since the mini expansion dropped now. So this is actually Lionhaven, obviously, straight up. So another Annerose. We are going to lose this one. But I mean, the odds are 50-50 now, so we'll take the chance. If we're only going to lose one follower, I don't mind. Because these will counter lines pretty nicely. Alright, so 8 play points. Best way to deal with both these followers is disdain. Even if we do instantly lose the disdain, getting the 3 damage in and wiping the board, definitely valuable at the moment. And of course, Holy Lions. No real surprise that they wanted to get to the gold lines as quickly as possible. Luckily for us, Poseidon is a pretty good way to counter lions like this, because of course it does put up 3 bodies, one of which is not super easy to counter, but who knows? If they did have a decent spell, other than of course lions, they could have potentially done a good job. But this looks very meh at the moment. I mean, they're definitely going to have to burn some more cards, which kind of sucks. Or you can leave up the 7-1. That works for me. Back-to-back Poseidon. We'll be able to kill off one of these 4s just so they're forced to use more resources, even if it is just a little bit. Although I probably should have targeted my 5-7 Poseidon so they couldn't use that 2-1 to kill off one of these wards, but really at this point we're very close to a lethal. And forcing them to waste lion crystals like this, especially when they aren't enhancing them, is quite valuable. And it looks like they are now board locked, and that's not a great draw. Let's see if we can get something better. Alright, Haste Wing. Double Haste Wing next turn wins us the game. It's why I didn't actually play another one, as at the moment they are basically board locked and wasn't going to be able to kill me this turn. Or really throw up a ward to stop this. Which does, of course, give us the victory. So this Ramp Dragon was a little bit of fun. Of course, I wasn't designing it to be super competitive. It was mainly just to give Annerose a solid go and throw it into something that's a little less Coyotus, which is what most people are running, or Cocytus. It's been most popular, so no surprise, I just wanted a little bit of a different Ramp Dragon for you guys. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you want to check this deck list out, it'll be in the description below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Until next time, see ya.